Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing our 10-part series on red flags that you should be looking out for if you're hiring a divorce attorney. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to Divorce Den, where our focus is on helping you create your best future during and after divorce. We are going through a 10-part series of red flags to look out for when you're hiring a divorce attorney. We've already covered some crucial points, and now we are on to point number 3. Something that is often overlooked when you're hiring a divorce attorney is communication. That is a huge red flag if your attorney is not able to effectively communicate with you and keep you updated on the progress of your case. So please do not overlook this point. And before we get into the video, if you find any value in this 10-part series or any of our other videos, we encourage you to like, subscribe, and please leave us a comment and let us know anything else that you'd like to hear about when it comes to getting divorced, relationship guidance, anything to help you on your journey to your best you. Something that we talk about a lot when it comes to your relationship and how to form your relationship, how to maintain your relationship, and how to really make sure that you have a close bond with that person that you're close to is effective communication. And if we're talking about that with your significant other or any other type of partner or friend or family member, it is just as crucial when it comes to your divorce attorney. When you are navigating all of the logistical and emotional and legal aspects of getting divorced, having your attorney not effectively communicate with you should be absolutely the lowest thing on your list. You should never have to be worrying about that. You're entitled to an attorney who effectively communicates with you properly and timely and clearly and makes sure that you're kept up to date on your case, and they explain to you as clearly as possible what the next steps might be. So first, what I'm going to say is what clear communication with your attorney is not, is sometimes attorney fumbling over their words. I do that all the time, right? So I'm doing that now even during the video because I'm just having a regular conversation with you. And sometimes I'm going to mess up, I'm going to trip over my words, or maybe I need to stop and think about something before we strategize or before we start to navigate a roadmap that makes the most sense. That is not what I'm referring to. What I'm talking about is an attorney who doesn't keep you up to date, who avoids speaking to you, who doesn't give you a clear roadmap, who says one thing and then says something different, who tells you something, this is what we're going to do, and then they actually do something different. Effective communication from the beginning, from the very first time that you speak with that attorney, all the way through your case is very important. In all likelihood, you've never done this before. And even if you have, this is not your area of expertise. Your job might be doing something different. And even if you are, by some chance, a divorce attorney in your regular day job, this is your world, right? This is your world that you're navigating as far as trying to create your new future. You can't be thinking about the legal aspect or creating a future that's going to make sense to you in the courtroom, in the collaborative process, when you've hired an attorney to do that. So no matter what, you need to be able to rely on the professional in the room, that's the attorney, to communicate to you effectively how it is that you're going to be moving forward, how it is that you're going to be getting your updates, answering any questions that you have. No matter what, effective communication when it comes to your legal advocacy is really essential. So what does poor communication look like? Some of those things can be the following. Unanswered phone calls. Sometimes your attorney gets busy, and that's okay. But if these unanswered phone calls go for days or weeks on end, or you call and follow up, you still haven't heard from them, that's an issue. Same thing with emails. If you email your attorney and you ask them a question, it might take them a day or two to get back to you. They have other cases, they have things going on, but make sure that they are answering you and they're not just answering one part of a 3-part email, right? If you have things that you need to know or things that you're trying to be clear about as far as the next steps forward, and you ask them point 1, 2, and 3, and they give you a very quick response and answer only 1, you have every right to follow up and say, I need the answers to 2 and 3 as well. Is it possible for us to jump on a call? Can you explain something else to me? Can I speak to one of your support staff who might be able to give me the answers? Oftentimes there are other people in the office who can give you those answers if the attorney is too busy in that moment. But a second point related to that is you can speak to anyone in the office, whether it's support staff, another attorney, even a managing attorney, no problem. However, if your attorney is not available on a regular basis for you to speak to directly, that's a huge red flag. Make sure that you are bringing that up and letting them know, I hired X attorney and I would like to speak to X attorney. If they're not available now, no problem. I will schedule a time to speak to them next week or the week after, whenever their calendar allows. But for your attorney to be avoiding you or not being able to speak to you or busy with other things, that's really not acceptable. That leads to the third point, a lack of transparency. When you can't reach your attorney, you don't really know what's going on. They're not being transparent with you about, okay, so these are the next steps. This is why I haven't been able to speak with you, because I've been involved in something, X, Y, and Z, no matter what it is. You want to make sure that you trust your attorney to give you sound advice, but to also give you that sound advice in a timely fashion, in a communicative fashion, meaning that they're speaking to you directly about it. They're saying to you, here are the issues. Here are some of the roadblocks that we're facing. Here's an issue that maybe I'm having this week. I'm really bogged down because I have trial. Your case, I'm going to have to put over until Monday or Tuesday. Can we speak about it on Monday or Tuesday? No problem. Having that transparent conversation is really, really important. And lastly, another poor communication skill is when your attorney doesn't break down exactly what the steps are. This can be a very complex legal issue that's going on in your case, right? There might be so many different layers to it, whether you're talking about support, valuing a business. I often see those as something that's complicated depending on the financials that come back, whether it is selling a house, selling that business, no matter what. There might be a lot of layers to it that you don't really understand. Yeah, I understand we have a business. Yeah, I understand I have a pension. Like, I don't know what the issues are that are underlying it. We're going to split that 50-50 or we're going to share in it. But you really need all of the details broken down. What does that mean? What does that mean we're going to share in the pension? What does that mean we're going to sell the business and I'm going to get my share? If your attorney is not able to break it down for you, take a step back and make it very clear as to this is what it is that we're looking to do, and this is how we're going to do it step by step, then that might be a big red flag. There are going to be a lot of legal terms that are thrown around. There will be a lot of things that maybe you don't understand, that you've never experienced before, and that's perfectly normal. And sometimes your attorney doesn't have all the answers, and that's just the truth. Attorneys know a lot. Divorce attorneys know a lot. That doesn't mean they know everything. They might need to bring in a different professional in order to help you. Maybe bring in that financial professional who can talk to you about the breakdown of what the business is valued at. That's not an issue. The issue is that if your attorney is saying to you, oh, we'll get to it, or I can't explain it, it's a lot to explain. I've actually heard people say that their attorneys have said to them, this is too much for me to explain to you. That's what I'm paying you for, to explain it to me. And if your attorney cannot break it down on a 101 level, that is a big problem. You deserve an attorney who is willing to take the time and break down your case and explain it to you in a way that is digestible, in a way that you understand, and in a way that you can do it in pieces. They can't break it all down to you at once because it's so much information to take in. And one part of your case might not be relevant right now. That business valuation that we were just talking about, maybe we don't need to get to that right now, because maybe the business is valued at X and so is the house, and maybe we can trade off. Maybe we can start to negotiate and one spouse can take one spouse can take the other. Maybe we can offset it somewhere else. There are a million different ways to do it, but if your attorney isn't breaking that down for you and explaining it to you, that's really something that's going to be problematic down the road. Without real clarity, it's going to be very hard to make informed decisions, so make sure that you are addressing this with your attorney from the beginning. Don't forget, an attorney's role is not just to represent you in court. Their job isn't to just go in there and make their argument and win you everything. Their job is to communicate with you the strategy, the roadmap, their expectations, and listen to you, right? Really hear what it is that your interests and your goals are and help you create the best path forward so that you can have your best future. When you and your attorney have any type of communication breakdown, that can really lead to not only a lot of frustration on your part, but it can cost you a lot of money. We also spoke about this on how to save money on attorney fees series, so go back and check that out if you want more information on that. But it really is crucial. Communication with your attorney is crucial. You communicating directly to your attorney and you receiving that input back from your attorney. So let's take a look at what it does look like when your attorney is communicating effectively with you. First, look for an attorney who is responsive. They respond to your emails, to your calls. Sometimes they will text with you, but when you communicate with them, they're responsive. Even if they're not able to answer your exact question in the moment, they respond to you and let you know, let me get back to you. I've had a long day at court, or I'm in the middle of trial, or I'm doing something else, but I hear you I see that you've communicated with me and I intend to communicate back with you. They put your mind at ease that I hear you and I will get back to you. Secondly, find an attorney who will break down the legal process for you on a 101 level at best, letting you know this is where we are now, this is where we're going to go next, and here are some of the legal terms that maybe you need to know. Here's a breakdown of where it is that we're going to be heading when it comes to support. These are some of the things that we're going to be talking about when it comes to the house. You want an attorney who's going to give it to you in plain talk, who's going to say to you, okay, you might be entitled to X, Y, and Z, but you tell me, what's the most important thing to you? Okay, then from there, now we can break it down a little bit further and we can help you get to where you want to be. And third, look for an attorney who is going to be hearing your voice as well. You want someone who's listening to what your goals and your interests are for the future, not just spitting out to you, this is the law. This is what the law says, so you should get that. Okay, maybe I'm okay giving that up. Self-determination is about you choosing what your best future is. Even if you say, I'm okay giving that up because I will take something else, because your peace, your future is worth it. Remember, this is your journey. This is your attorney. This is your process. So when you hire an attorney, you have every right to know where it is that your case is going and to get clear communication back from your attorney on just that. You deserve to be heard and respected and have all of your questions answered timely. So to sum it up, when you have an attorney who is effective and they are really there for you, communicating with you clearly, it can really be a breath of fresh air and take a weight off of your shoulders, as opposed to it feeling really daunting and exhausting and almost like a chore having to communicate with your attorney. So make sure that you notice what feeling you have when you speak to your attorney. Does it feel like, I feel better and settled after I speak to them? Or do I have anxiety even speaking to them because of the communication style? You need to make that decision for yourself. So this was part 3 in our 10-part series on red flags that you should look out for when it comes to hiring a divorce attorney. And if you want to see about red flag number 4, check us out. See you next time on the Divorce Den.